Hello and welcome to my final thoughts on video for Call of Duty Black Ops for the Wii. For this video, I'm going to attempt to do something I've never done before on my channel. I'm going to try doing this all unscripted. The only thing I will be using are notes that will help remind me of a specific topic. That way I do not accidentally forget any of them. Now, before I begin, let me just state the reason this commentary is so freaking long is because I give my opinions on practically every little detail, and not only that, but I share some of my memories with this game, so forgive me for the long length, but I'm 100% sure this video won't be boring and long-winded. Anyhow, without further ado, let's talk about Call of Duty Black Ops for the Wii. Okay, so let me give you a little backstory for this game. So, the previous year for Christmas, I got my Wii console, and like, with school, I've been talking to my friends that I didn't have a Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Black Ops, anything like that. But I did have a Wii, and actually one of my friends, he had 2 copies of the game. He had Call of Duty Black Ops for Xbox 360 and one for the Wii. And so, he said he didn't really play the Wii version that much, so he decided to just give it to me since I didn't have any game. And that's basically how I got it. I got what in GameStop or something at that time probably be like 60-50 bucks, even though it's a Wii game, but it was kind of new then, so I essentially got that for free, which is pretty freaking cool. And then from there I played it, had fun, blah blah blah. Let's just move on. The campaign mode, the story I felt was pretty good. I mean, I felt it's better than the some of the other ones that I've played, or at least that I've seen. Modern Warfare 2's was pretty good. I think it might be one of the best stories in Call of Duty ever. Modern Warfare 3 I didn't really like that much, but you know, the missions in this game, they were pretty freaking awesome. Although the one thing that kind of sucked about the Wii version when it came to missions is that, like, I think it's the 3rd mission where you finally get to meet the president and stuff. You know how you just walked along and all that. And then the 2nd to last one, Revelation, where you're going through his mind and everything's all trippy as shit. Those missions aren't playable on the Wii due to the lack of hardware and everything. So it's basically just like cutscenes. Just like one long cutscene, really. But it shows off the Xbox 360 in-game footage, so at least it looks good. And well, speaking of cinematics, the strange thing about this game is that it's got a mix of Xbox 360 cinematics and its own cinematics for the Wii. It's like sometimes it'll be the Wii's in-game engine cinematics, and other times it'll be just like ripped straight from the 360. I don't exactly know why. I guess they didn't really have time to really, you know, program it to where it's all in the Wii engine, plus kind of easier and cheaper. But whatever. I think it was pretty good, much better than like just using Wii all the time, I guess. Another thing that sucked about the Wii version of Black Ops as far as campaign is you cannot collect all the intel without using the cheat code. I tried this and it's true, because the one mission where, well, in the 360 version you come out of the helicopter, then you get in the boat, and then you drive around, shoot stuff up, blah blah blah. But in the Wii version you're already in the boat, and it's after the part where you get out of the helicopter, you get in the boat and you shoot stuff up. It's like at the part where you're just riding there and you get on land and then you go from there. So since the one piece of intel is where the helicopter be, and since that's cut out from that level in the Wii version, that's like one of the reasons why you can't get all the intel for the game. I think there's another one. Oh yeah, I think it was like Project Nova. There was supposed to be intel on one of the monkey cages or something, but it wasn't there in the Wii version. I don't know. Point is, you can't get them all without the cheat code. And even though I said the story was pretty good, And, oh, I gotta bring up the plot twist. The plot twist I thought was pretty good. You know, I kind of hate to ruin it, but I mean, Black Ops by this time is like 4 years old, or getting there to 4 years old, should I say? And it's uber popular, and you haven't played it yet, then I'm sorry for you, but you just have to skip this part. But the plot twist with Reznov actually being a figmentation of Mason's mind, I thought it was pretty interesting and pretty good. Like, I honestly didn't see it coming, although I've read some comments to people like, oh, it was so obvious to see it, and looking back now, I could see it really if I just paid a little more attention, like, especially in Victor Charlie when you're in the tunnels, and Swift is saying, like, you better, like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, you better keep your shit together and blah blah blah. Like, if I'd paid attention to that, I might have picked up on it, but, I don't know, it's just, I think I was just mostly playing it for the action. Anyhow, what I was getting to before the plot twist was, my friend said that the story was bad because Mason was not in his right mind, and I feel that's not true. I feel that it was better because the story was better because it actually had a plot twist on, like, Modern Warfare 3, and also you actually got to know the person you're playing as and all the other characters. Modern Warfare 3, you never really got to know anything. It just, I don't know. I didn't really like the campaign that much overall. I mean, some of the missions were pretty cool, I'll admit that, but I still prefer Black Ops is much better. Oh, and another thing about the campaign is that the very last mission is when you're in the helicopter and you got the machine gun, you're shooting at the ship and everything, then you like get shot down, I think, and then you jump off and you roll onto the helipad, then you just shoot your way from there. In the Wii version, it just starts with you crashing the helicopter and then you're just like running and gunning from there. So yeah, it's another kind of sucky thing about the Wii version. Anyhow, let's get out of the campaign and go on to the multiplayer. Holy crap, it's already been 7 minutes. Jesus. Anyhow. The multiplayer, oh my god, it was lots of fun. I spent hours upon hours on this mode alone. It's the most I've played on any game mode. The maps were, they're not that bad, most of them. Some of them were kind of crappy, I guess. I don't know. I guess they could have been better, but for what they weren't that bad. They're much better than, like, Modern Warfare 3's turn out to be. But my favorites would have to be Nuketown, Summit, Crisis, and Firing Range. No surprise, Nuketown, Summit, and Firing Range are like everyone's favorites. And the reason I like Crisis is because, well, for one thing, you don't really get to play it that much. At least in Team Deathmatch, it's only in, like, Domination and those other modes. Plus, I like its beauty and whatnot. I just think it's an underrated map in that game. I mean, I guess the layout does kind of suck, but I don't know, I just kind of like it. And I also like the interactive doors and radiation where you can just flip them up and down. That was always fun to do. And trying to get into the pulley cart on Summit, that was really funny. Like, because sometimes you just fall to your death. And then the missile on launch was, yeah, it was kind of cool. It was more like a funny thing to do, like a funny way to die, just like running there when it's just going off. You're like, oh no, I'm getting burnt up. One of the sucky things about the maps on the Wii is that the map Havana, it gets downscaled on Wii, and instead of it being like the whole Z like it is on the other versions, it's just basically like the middle part of the Z. So it's just, I think it's just the two hotels, that part. Which, I mean, it's not that bad as being the map itself in the Wii version, but I guess it would have been better to have it, you know, be the full. And another sucky thing is that you can't do the Nuketown's mannequin Easter egg, which is, if you shoot off all the heads of the mannequins in Nuketown, it'll play Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. I think this is because that the Wii can't render all the mannequins at once, and so if you just do it, it doesn't work, which is a damn shame. The guns, The guns were okay. Most of them felt the same, especially like the AK-47, Galil, Enfield, and Commando. And I think there might be another gun, but I know for a fact those 4 guns basically the same. The Enfield felt a little bit different for the fact you could aim time a little quicker, and the Galil also had like an extended mag, like 5 extra bullets, but still, they all just really felt the same. And my favorites are the Spectre, the MPL, and well, really I like all of them. Well, except a few. The FAMAS, oh god, don't get me started on the FAMAS. That gun was just so overpowered and so ridiculous, and it just got on my fucking nerves. Since this whole game, like the guns in the game, they mostly shoot at like 750 rounds per minute. And that gun shoots at like 900 rounds per minute. It's just ridiculous, and plus the amount of damage it does, the range, and reload times, everything. Oh my god. It is just a nightmare going up against that thing most times. I mean, the best thing to go against it is like a Spectre. That's like the... or maybe an MPL. I don't know, some machine gun. Submachine gun, I mean. If you ask me, I think the Spectre would be the best going up against. It's hard to... I don't know what else to really say about it than what's already been said about around the whole Black Ops community way back then. I mean, just kind of beating a dead horse, basically. We used to have a very, very bad nickname for it, at least that I've heard, and I sort of use myself, but sometimes call it the fag ass, just because I hate it so much. But then in this one I kind of made up myself that I'd mostly use it for like when I'm playing zombies and stuff, just because then I don't really care that it's so overpowered and like multiplayer and stuff. But like I call it the famous Seamus, or just the famous. Like you're trying to be famous. I think you get what I mean. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of a stupid nickname, but I always thought it was funny. I just made up. Then the next one, which is like the Mahas's brother or something, is the AUG, or as I'd like to call it, the "Are You Gay?" I mean, no offense to anybody any homosexual people, I guess I should just say. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, just, I don't know. It's just a way of describing just don't really like these guns, so don't take it too seriously. But the AUG, even though it strangely never got the amount of hate that the FAMAS got, I really do hate it, and it really needs the same amount, because it's basically like the FAMAS. It's exactly like the FAMAS, but I don't think there's any other way I could put it. It's like another FAMAS. It should just not exist, or it should be nerfed, like really, really bad. And then the next bad gun, or noob gun, I've kind of been going over is the Stoner 64, I think. Or I'll just call it the Stoner, because that's what I definitely know it as. Or as some people like to call it the Stoner Boner. I mean, even though it was an LMG gun, it's still, it's kind of annoying to be killed by it. It's just, it has such a high rate of fire and damage, and you know, it's freaking powerful. And I mean, I guess technically it's not a complete noob gun, but still, I don't really like it that much, because it feels kind of cheap getting killed by it or getting kills with it, because it just seems a little too easy. So let's get on to the perks. The perks overall, I'd say they're pretty good. They're kind of standard for the most part, but some were pretty exceptional. My favorites were lightweight plus marathon, you know, gotta have those two together. Scavenger, hardline, hacker, sleight of hand, and warlord. Second chance, oh my god. This was the worst friggin', well, if it's not the worst, it's one of the worst perks in this entire friggin' game. It's just, ugh. I hate it so much, especially the pro version. It's like, you could just be shooting somebody, and then they fall down a little bit, and then and then you're starting to run along, but then you notice like they're just falling down. You're like, oh, I gotta go kill them, but then they like shoot at you or something, and then you just like fucking die. And then like if you're trying to go back for them later on just to kill them, somebody might revive them, and then there goes your fucking kill. I mean, just I mean, Treyarch, what the hell were you thinking making this stupid perk? It was just retarded as hell. Ghost? Oh my god. Like I said, if Second Chance wasn't the worst perk in that game, this might be the worst perk in this game, because you could hide from basically everything and just definitely be invisible. Except for unless you didn't have a suppressed weapon and you were firing like a madman, then of course you could be found out. But I mean, you could avoid, especially at the pro level, you could avoid like spy planes, counter spy planes, I believe. Yeah, counter spy planes. God, what else? I think motion. No, that was only hacker. I can't name them all off the top of my head. I'm sorry, but you could avoid so much shit that it wasn't even funny. It was impossible for you to get killed with that thing on, at least by other things besides other players that see you, you know? And it's just terrible. It's one of the worst perks ever in a Call of Duty game. Just saying. Scout. Scout was just fucking stupid. It was a really dumb perk. I mean, not that the fact it couldn't be useful, I guess. I mean, the combination was just so stupid. Like, the default part's okay, like, you'd be able to hold your breath longer or steady your scope or whatever. But then, like, after that, it's like switch weapons faster. It's like, what? That should have been saved for something like Sleight of Hand Pro or something like that. That would have made more sense. And I don't know, really, Scout could have been taken out altogether. And yeah, it's just so stupid to me. And then Harden, I'd like to say Harden should have been taken out, but it wasn't that bad, I guess. I mean, it helps you with shooting people through walls. Plus, the pro version is really the whole point of this perk, because then you can have less flinch when you're getting shot, and you can have more accuracy when shooting people. No, it wasn't exactly my cup of tea, especially not in the non-pro version, but yeah, as a perk, it's not that bad, I guess. Hardline Pro, while I love Hardline as a default because, you know, you get your kill streaks 1 kill less, the Pro version was just really stupid worth getting. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was pretty cool, but just that being the only thing that you get was just really stupid. I mean, if I had that and something else, then it wouldn't have been so bad, but just that, then it's just kind of stupid. As you know, Hardline Pro is just basically you get to change your care packages to whatever you want. So let's say you have ammo, you could change it for something like a spy plane or something. Obviously, you can't pick it yourself, even though it would have been really cool, but you just basically, like, roll over, I think that's what it says. It's just like, it just gives you a randomly generated kill streak. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes it's just, what was the point of that? And honestly, I feel that Overkill should have been in here instead of some of the perks. Like, instead of Scout, I feel like it should have been Overkill, so that would have made more sense to me, like, because the secondary weapons, they were okay, but I think it would have been, I think my loadouts would have been more awesome if I had, like, 2 guns at the same time. Like, say, an Enfield and an AK, no. Actually, it's 2 assault rifles. I don't want to do that. Say like an Enfield and a Spectre or something. I don't know. Just making something up. But that would have been pretty cool. And I'd actually have like a useful secondary. But then again, noobs would kind of mess this up, wouldn't they? Because of course they'd be doing like AUG and FAMAS, or maybe even Stoner FAMAS, you know, some of those retarded ass combinations. And then it just make the game even worse, so I can see why they didn't put it in there. Let's move on to the equipment. Equipment, nah, whatever. I used to use it a lot more when I was playing more, but now when I recently play, I don't really use it that much. I don't know. I'm just not that into it anymore. My favorites, I'd have to say, would be the Claymore, which is pretty much everyone's favorite. Motion sensors, Semtex, and concussions. Tomahawks I like, but I suck with them for the most part. I do have my good moments, but for the most part, I'm kind of terrible with them. Going into like public matches and stuff. Private matches, I mean, even if I do screw up, who cares? I'm fighting against friends and stuff. Tactical insertion, a little pain in the ass, but it helped me get a free kill every now and then. I never really used it, other than for, I think, like private matches or something, or with glitches. But it was pretty stupid as far as equipment goes. It's pretty cheap for like campers and stuff. But then again, it did help me get free kill from time to time, so it kind of evens out, I guess. Dummy grenades were just fucking annoying. Just like throwing them and you think it's somebody. At least at first when you're playing, you can get easily confused by them. It's like you really think it's somebody, and then you just get like sniped or something like that. And it's just, but, you know, after you play for a while, you can easily tell what's a dummy grenade and what's an actual person shooting. But still, they're annoying and kind of almost pointless. Really, they're more for like campers, really, because it'd be like people just throw that and just hide somewhere just so they could like pick you off. I didn't really like them. The Nova gas was meh. I mean, no one really used it from what I saw, and I never really used it that much. It seemed kind of pointless, I guess. I mean, yeah, it does hurt people, and I guess it would be really useful for like domination or some objective-based game mode like that. But outside of that, no one really ever used it. Willie Pete is also kind of useless. I mean, I looked up a video to see exactly how the hell you would even use these things because I thought they were so useful. And the only useful way that I saw this guy use it for was just to like use it for objective-based game modes like domination. He threw one out and then people were blind and you could just like capture the flag and have less of a chance of getting shot. That's like the only point. That's not like the only time Willie Pete's are actually useful. But mostly they're like for comedy. It's like, I'm throwing a Willie Pete, and it's just like just a little puff of smoke, like that's really gonna help you against somebody. And since we're on the topic of equipment, something that I guess kind of sucks for Wii, but then again doesn't really matter. But there's no camera spike in the Wii version, so yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, the camera spike, it's about like the Willie Pete's or whatnot. It's just mostly good for like objective-based game modes. Just like you can have the camera there and you can look to see what's going on there, and then, you know, while you're doing other stuff. The camera spike's not a bad piece of equipment, but no, I never really got to use it ever, and outside of that, it's not really that useful, so whatever. Kill streaks, they were not that bad in this game, I guess. They're pretty cool. What am I saying? Not that bad. My favorites have to be the Spy Plane, Blackbird, Dogs, obviously, Rolling Thunder, RCXD, Care Package, mostly for the Grim Reaper and Death Machine. The other stuff was, I mean, yeah, it was kind of cool being able to get some other stuff, but mostly for the Grim Reaper and Death Machine. And I also like the Mortar Team, because they are kind of useful sometimes. My hated ones, at least when I wasn't using them, when they were used against me, would have to be the Napalm Strike and Attack Helicopter. Napalm Strike because, you know, the fire, you could easily accidentally get in the fire, and then even if it was only like a split second you got in the fire, it's like automatically after that you're dead. It's like impossible to live after that unless you're wearing Flak Jacket Pro, obviously. And then hacked helicopter. Oh god, even though that was my most annoying or most hated kill streak in that entire game to go up against, because if you tried running around outside, that thing would just pick you off in just a couple shots. And you'd have to stay inside until the freaking thing just flew off finally, or if someone was carrying like a RPG or something, could just like, shoot it out of the sky. But I never really carried a RPG or anything like that, because like I always needed that for my pistol or something, you know, when I ran out of ammo with my first gun, to use that as a secondary weapon so I don't get myself killed. So I always had to just stay inside, avoid these things. And I mean, I tried taking them out just by shooting at them, but it always failed. Although I think a few times it worked. That's only because other people had just been attacking it, and then I just swoop in and help destroy it. But whatever. I hated it. Also, I kinda hate dogs in RCXD, and Rolling Thunders aren't mine, or even my teammates. I kinda hate, but I don't hate dogs as much as like attack helicopters, even though you think dogs would be more annoying. But dogs, I can actually get rid of some of them. Attack helicopter, that thing is like fucking invincible without a freaking rocket launcher. RCXD, it is kind of annoying getting killed by it. Just like it runs near you and it's like a split second. But it's still kind of funny to get killed by it, I guess. I don't know, I can't be completely mad at the RCXD for some strange reason. Rolling Thunders, oh my god, those suck too. Because even if you're inside, if you're not in a good spot inside, you can still get fucking killed by that thing. But I don't hate it as much as the napalms, because it doesn't last that long, really. So it's not that much hated by me. Plus, it's kind of harder to get than a napalm strike, so it was used less often by people. And a thing that sucked about the Wii, and there's a lot of stuff that kind of sucked about the Wii, is that there's no Valkyrie rockets, chopper gunner, or gunship in the Wii. But at least we had dogs. The attachments, I'm not going to name my favorites, but I'm just going to say this much. The ACOG sucks. Like, whoever thought that was a good idea is fucking retarded. Like, I mean, not just because, you know, it gives you improved range, but the fact that the fucking recoil and the rate of fire just gets turned down and stuff, it's like, so stupid. Like, why the hell would you ever use that? Other than to, like, maybe a level up, maybe. And speaking of level up, let's talk about the level up system. I actually like this system. It seemed better than MW3's, which is annoying, with, you know, getting every attachment via constant gun use. Like, if you want silencer on this gun, you gotta keep using it and using it until you unlock it. Unlike in Black Ops, where if you get the gun, like you unlock it, then you just gotta buy it. And it just felt fair and wasn't annoying to me. I don't know, I just really liked it better than MW3. And let's just go on to more various multiplayer topics. I'm just kind of going all down memory lane from here on out, basically. In the Wii version, if you use Wiimote and Nunchuck, the cool thing is you can tilt your hand left and right. This works with pistols, guns, ballistic knives, and everything else, basically. And even though you could tilt it to the side, it never really affected your shot, like your shot goes a different direction or anything. Or like decreased, well, it might have decreased your accuracy, I don't know. Really, it's just kind of cool, you know, because you just like turn your hand and kill shot and just fucking kill somebody with your pistol. It's just a lot of fun. And the community for the Wii was actually fairly large for a Wii game. It had up to 60,000 players at one point. Now, I know it doesn't really sound like a lot, but because there was like at one point 1 million people on the PlayStation 3 version of Black Ops, but for the freaking Wii, like which is a port of the game, wasn't that great. 100% that great to begin with, and it's just like got less features and wasn't that great. And you know, it's mostly on a platform for kids, and it's got 60,000 people playing it. That's pretty damn impressive. I mean, it's like kind of mind-blowing that actually that many people were playing that version of the game. I was, of course, one of them, and my friends too. Hackers, oh, hackers are plentiful on the Wii, but I never really had any problems with them. Matter of fact, one of my best matches I had was a hack match. We played something like, I guess, Infected from MW3, but it had a really awesome twist. Whoever was last standing, I believe they got to fly around in a Cobra chopper and kill people from it. I really wish I knew who that hacker was, or at least could have recorded that game, but it was amazing, let me tell you. You know, you'd kill everybody, and if you're the last one, you get to go up into it, and then you like fly around, and then I think you like use your machine gun and shoot your missiles, and it was just fucking awesome, man. I mean, I really wish I could have played more of it and everything. But outside of that effective match, we also did have some effective match where each person getting picked off on the one team turns into zombies on the other. Basically, zombies had ballistic knives and their vision was yellow. That was the only difference between like normal players and zombies. And whoever was last standing, either zombies or survivors won, obviously. But the kind of cool thing is sometimes these infected type matches weren't in private, they were in public actually. But I think that really all depended if the hacker was the host of the game. If not, I don't think they really could do it. That's really how most hackers did their hacking, was when they were hosts of games. And I'm also going to admit that I got myself hacked up to level 15 prestige. I know, I'm such a noob, but I really wanted to see and have the gold guns, which sadly on Wii look more like cheese camo than gold camo. I do now since regret hacking my way up to that prestige and not getting there legitly. Mostly for the simple fact that, like, Modern Warfare 3's, it was so hard to prestige in that game for me, and plus I didn't really like it that much, and Black Ops I love more, so, you know. But then again, I don't even know if I would have made it there myself. I mean, I would have been playing freaking hardcore like every flipping day. But although I've had some good experiences, I've also had some bad experiences with some hackers. Hacking matches are so impossible to... People are hacking matches so it's impossible to win, that type of stuff. Like, thankfully I never got demoted by any of them, although I do know of people who have, and let me tell you, it sucks. But yeah, just they'd hack themselves up to where they're invincible or infinite ammo, 3 attachments, crazy shit, man. It's just like, god damn. Like, unlimited UAV and all of that stuff is ridiculous. Private matches were a lot of fun. Moving on from hackers. We do games like Michael Myers and Dodgeball. We even did one of Border Patrol, I believe. I remember one of the funniest moments from Michael Myers was on Hanoi in that one building with 2 floors and the bedroom. One of my friends was laying on the bed. I was on top teabagging him. You know, typical trolling goodness. But then I turned around and see the guy being Michael Myers right behind me just watching. Then I started screaming really loudly, "Rape! Rape!" while I was running away. Everyone was laughing hysterically, and I actually think I survived that attack, but not for long after. As far as game modes, I actually tried inventing one. I forgot what I named it, but the gist of it was it had to be on Havana, since Havana's road on the Wii is short. One team had to run from one end of the road to the next, while the other team was placed in various buildings and could only use snipers. Basically, the one team ran while the snipers tried to kill them. If the snipers managed to kill all the runners, they won. If any of the runners made it through alive, they got to hunt down and kill a hunter. And the hunters couldn't move or shoot back. then I guess the runners would have won. Thinking back, it wasn't that great of an idea. And the execution of it proved that, as people didn't really listen, and as soon as the runners made it to the other side and went to kill the snipers started running and shooting back, and it was just a mess, and I never made any other game mode after that, sadly. How good was I at this game? Well, I'd say pretty good. I've gotten dogged several times, like at least 10, probably a lot more. Matter of fact, my best COD match was in this game. The match was on Array, and I believe I was using an AK-47 with multiple attachments. I want to say I used extended mags and a suppressor, since I used those attachments a lot. As far as perks, obviously I used Warlord, but I'm pretty sure I also used Marathon and Lightweight, since at one point I had to find a gun with more ammo, if I remember correctly. Anyhow, my KDR by the end of it was 27-0. Yeah, maybe not the most impressive, as probably more experienced players have gone there and beyond, but still pretty impressive. One of the funniest things about that match was, for a minute, I was running around doing nothing. I was trying to find people, but I couldn't find anyone. Still, my greatest match to date, and I even took a picture of that KD on my old phone. I'd have to find it at some point. I've also made people rage quit. Like, I know one guy was using ballistic knives, and I, knifed him one time, and then immediately right after that, I knifed him again, and I wasn't even using ballistic knives. I was running around with an Enfield, but after that second knife, he quit the match, which was just so funny to me. Speaking of rage quitting, that reminds me that on the Wii, there is no host migration. If the host rage quits, the match just ends. Most times it will say host ended game, but sometimes the game would freeze while you're playing, and then you get a message like connection failed or something on the lines of that. It had a plug and that was being unplugged as a graphic. This message would mostly occur if the connection was crap or the host just turned off their Wii. Of course, afterwards you get kicked back into the lobby each time. One of the major sucky things of Black Ops Wii was no DLC maps whatsoever, which is just a shame on Treyarch's part. I realize they may not have given a shit about the Wii other than another platform for their game to be on so they can get more money, but actually they could have squeezed more money out of us if they gave us some of the DLC. I realize the Wii has such limited capabilities for fitting these extra maps on Black Ops Wii. I mean, heck, they barely got the game running on the Wii. As if you played it for more than 9 hours at a time, chances are the game would literally break your Wii. No joke, the game would somehow break the laser in the CD disc, which is used to read the disc. However, Nintendo was nice enough to fix the broken Wiis for free, but that soon eventually faded, and if your Wii was broken, you'd have to pay for it. This little ordeal was the reason behind why Treyarch never released any DLC maps for the Wii, because Treyarch's game broke several Wiis, and in Nintendo's mind they owed them money, and also they did not want Treyarch releasing any more content for the game. I know it sounds completely stupid. I'm a little foggy on this whole issue as it was years ago, but if this really was the case like I remember, I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo was really acting like that. No offense to Nintendo, but they have had a tendency to make some pretty stupid or questionable business decisions, and this seems like it would be another one. Granted, I see where they are coming with the whole you owe us money thing, but the whole we don't want you releasing more content for this game deal just makes practically no sense. Treyarch could have made the map packs like a channel on the Wii Shop channel. Basically, here's how my friend and I imagined it would be. You go to the Wii Shop, find the channel, download it. Once you've downloaded it, you go right into the multiplayer and perhaps even the zombies mode. We never really thought about zombies. From there, you could play all the DLC maps, but only the DLC maps in the channel. You couldn't play any of the standard maps released in Black Ops, like Nuketown or Firing Range, because that might be too much for the Wii to handle, and it may just crash or just not work. Treyarch could have done maybe One channel was the Annihilation map pack and another was maybe Resurrection. And each you would pay the same as on Xbox or PS3, which I believe was 15 to 20. Or better yet, they could have released all the DLC maps into one channel and sold it at like $60. With there being up to 60,000 players online, and at least $15 between each of them, Trek could have potentially made an extra $900,000! Almost another $1,000,000! And that would be just on one map pack channel alone. If they had more, the number would be even higher. A shame Treyarch's greediness missed us on such a ripe opportunity such as this, because I myself would have been one of the players selling out $15, $20, or even $60 for these maps on the Wii. And plus, that could have been a way to, like, Nintendo could have got some payback for them. But I mean, outside of that, Treyarch could have gotten their even more money, and we would have gotten map packs, so that's more important thing, at least to me. One last thing I need to cover in the multiplayer is what I believe is the most important aspect of this game. And that is the friends I have made while playing this game. Thanks to this game, I have made several awesome friends in places I could never reach before. I've got friends in California, Texas, Arizona, and Missouri. Matter of fact, 90% of all of the online friends I have came from this game. I've met more people than I can keep track of. Thinking about it now, I wish I'd kept in touch with more of them. Some people I met got PS3s and moved on to their never to return. Some of my friends did get PS3s and I'm still in touch with them, but others I've lost contact with. Like, one guy was named Ballistic Knife, yeah, I know, original name. He got a PS3 and quit the Wii. I sadly don't remember much about him, but I remember him being a pretty cool guy. I mean, I've met people way worse than him. Although, my other friend said that he believes he's kind of angry sometimes, or could get angry a lot or something. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really remember, and I'm just running off the top of my head from what my friend said. I can't remember. But, and another guy I met, he went by the username California. Yes, another original name. I remember quite a bit about him. For one thing, he was an unbelievably beast player at Call of Duty. He was so good, you would swear he was hacking, but my friends and I never found any evidence of that. He definitely was a really cool and chill guy, but sadly he got a PS3 and left the Wii. Well, really, the only times that he weren't a cool and chill guy is really if, like, we were on the team, we were doing really bad. Then he'd just, like, get kind of mad and was like, come on, guys, do better, and stuff like that. I guess is kind of annoying. Just, like, even if we were just, I think especially we were just messing around, you know, just, like, goofing off, like, doing bad on purpose. Then he'd just be, like, not exactly yelling at us, but just, like, kind of complaining at us, like, come on, guys, do better. Like, what are you doing? It's just, I don't know. But other than that, he was still a pretty cool guy, and I really miss him. He had a freaking Skype, but he don't even use it. I almost forgot to mention the clans I was in. The first clan I ever joined was Gunal, or not Gunal. My God, I actually read it wrong. It's pronounced GN4L, I guess. And no, it's not pronounced Gunal, like I said just a couple seconds ago, but it's actually an acronym for Geniuses for Life. 4 actually meaning a 4. The clan was okay. My clan members were alright people, but I didn't really have a huge interest in them. Shortly after this clan, I met up with another one called B&B, which stands for Blood and Bullets. After Zombies match with the clan, I decided I really wanted to join their clan. I asked, they said yes, and from there I met the amazing friends I still have today. From then on, I never joined a clan that didn't have the former members of B&B in it. I joined clans like the Musketeers or the Wee Musketeers, Razor, and Arctic. Razor was just a new name for our clan, and was also an attempt to make ourselves a YouTube famous clan. We made a channel and posted an intro and everything. Sadly, none of us ever posted anything to the channel, so we called it quits. I mean, The friend who made the first intro video took it down and made another one, but that was it. The Wee Musketeers was a knife tomahawk only clan started by the best knifer tomahawker in our clan. It was again another attempt to be a YouTube famous clan. We renamed the old Razor channel and uploaded, yes, a new intro video, but that, just like Razor, fell through. Another clan that I'm not sure we really ever formed was SOG or SOG. I believe we did, but I'm just going to state that I might be wrong on this one. But the main thing about SOG was what it stood for. While two of my friends and I were trying to name a new clan, I came up with SOG, which stands for Some Old Guys. My friends thought it was so funny, and they did kind of want to name a clan that, but thought it was a little too ridiculous. Okay, I believe that is everything I want to talk about multiplayer. Sure, I didn't mention wager match and combat training, but I honestly don't have much to say about them. They are both a blast to play, and I've had several memories with my friends in these two game modes. So with all that said, time to move on to zombies. Zombies, just like the multiplayer mode, I spent countless hours on this game mode as well. My favorite weapons would probably be the ray gun, thunder gun, monkey bombs, HK-21, and AUG. Yeah, very typical weapons, but whatever. I don't have any favorite perks. I do like Juggernog, but really everyone does, so what's the point? Favorite characters in between Nikolai and Dempsey, the American and Russian guy. However, I think I lean towards more of Nikolai because he has a unique sense of humor, but Dempsey is pretty funny at times too. As far as favorite map goes, I cannot say. This being because of the fact that the Wii version of Black Ops only had one map. I know, completely ridiculous, but the Wii does have limited processing power, and like I stated earlier, this game could easily break your Wii. So adding more would have only made it worse. But I don't know, they could have at least tried to put Dead Ops Arcade on this game, because it seems like that map would have been easy to port over to the Wii. Sure, you could say coming up with a control scheme for the Wiimote nunchuck combo would be tough, but really it's not. You could have the nunchuck analog stick control the character, and the Wiimote could control where he shot by pointing it wherever you wanted to shoot. But hey, at least we got one map, and perhaps one of the best Call of Duty zombie maps ever. That is Kino der Toten. Now there are a few cool differences between the Wii and the other versions of Kino. On the Wii, Kino is a lot brighter than on the other versions, which makes it easier to see. Even though people on like PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 say like, oh, it's not that dark, but to me, oh my god, it's just so fucking dark. I think maybe it might get brighter when you turn the electricity on, but still, it just seemed too fucking dark for me on the other versions. Like, god damn, even with the brightness turned up all the way, it's still ridiculous. But on the Wii, it's just right to me. Next, there are glitches. Now you're probably asking, how is this a good thing? Well, for one, these glitches did not affect the main game. You can only exploit them by doing tasks that were not a part of the main game. These glitches ranged from being able to carry more than 2 weapons, since sadly the Wii didn't get the mule kick patch like 360 and PS3, to being able to have all of the zombies swarm underneath you while you and your friends shot them to death. So in hindsight, these glitches were pretty cool and useful, even if they did make you feel like a cheater. But perhaps the best single thing about Black Ops Zombies on the Wii is the fact you can buy the AUG off the wall. You heard me right, you can buy a wonder weapon straight from the wall. It was located on the bottom of the stage beneath the podium. And of course, like every other gun on the wall, you could buy ammo for it, which makes it an even more useful wonder weapon since it will last you quite a while. This was one of my go-to weapons in zombies for really this reason alone, and it's why it's one of my favorite weapons. The highest round I've ever gotten to on zombies with another player is, I believe, round 37. Sadly, we got there because one of my teammates did one of those glitches that attracted all the zombies underneath him, so unfortunately it's not 100% legit. But when it comes to how far I've gotten by myself, I lasted around 22. Not quite that impressive, but hey, I suck by myself. Honestly don't know how I lasted that long. Besides, that was like my worst solo match ever. Because I think I pack-a-punched my ray gun or something, but didn't get to grab it in time. I'm not sure if it was that, but it was close to it. Still, quite a long ways from my first match, where I only lasted round 3. Also, I've done 18 rounds without going down once, which for me, McFumbles over here, is pretty impressive. I also remember, I believe, my first co-op zombies match. It was me and 3 other people that I didn't know, and frankly I don't remember. Anyhow, they all had mics but me, because this was before I got a mic. However, they knew I could hear them, and after the match, I forgot how long we lasted, but one of them said to me, "Dude, you suck, man. I'm sorry, but you suck." After that, I think I left, or they ditched me. I don't think I talked to any of them again. No, I didn't do that because I was mad at them. I knew I wasn't that good. I mean, I was so new to the game, it was kind of hard to be. It's just, I don't know, I just lost touch with them, like some of my other friends. Some of you are probably wondering why I even included this memory here. I just wanted to share what I remembered about my first match. Besides, this video is also for me sharing my memories of this game, like I said earlier. And, well, that was one I wanted to share. Alright, I do believe those are all the thoughts and memories I wanted to share about this game. Sorry that this was so lengthy. It's just, I've played this game a lot, and this game also meant a lot to me. It exposed me to so many new experiences and new friendships, and for that I'm truly grateful of this game. Sure, it may have been the suckiest version of Black Ops in a game series that already sucked after at least COD 4, but it was still an overall enjoyable experience that I will always treasure. To be honest with you, if it wasn't for this game, I don't know where my life would be right now. Not that this game is or was my life, but rather I don't know if I would have had the same awesome friends I have today if I never had this game. I know I sound like I'm getting all sappy over a stupid video game, but it has changed my life a bit. I never had any online friends till this game. Now I have more than I can squeeze into one Skype call. So, yes, I will miss this game and its online, but I'm glad I got to experience it. And I will always remember all the good times I had. Thanks for watching.